Hi everyone, I'm Katie with Cutie Designs, and thank you so much for joining my very first YouTube tutorial. I had no intentions of ever doing a YouTube tutorial before, but when I posted this tumbler on LEB Creates Facebook group, there was a lot of interest in it and people asking me if there was a tutorial for it. So since I haven't seen a tutorial for this particular template design, which is not only a V-split, but a V-split with the plaid, I figured I would give it a shot and try to do a tutorial myself. So you can also catch a lot of different V-split tutorials by Jessica Flynn on Flynn Sisters Boutique. So hey, I would highly recommend watching her videos. I've watched probably every single one of them. There are a ton of YouTube creators out there who I will recommend. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Give me a like and a subscribe, and maybe I will create another video in the future. Thanks so much. So what I start with, I use hog tumblers, and this is a 20 skinny straight. I remove the little mirrored sticker thing that they put on the bottom because I have found in the past I've worked on tumblers and air can sometimes get behind that. It's not on there really good, and I end up with a bubble, and if I don't catch it right away, sometimes I do, but then I think I've got them all and then I leave as usual. You leave and something happens, so I leave and I come back and another bubble had formed and I didn't get it in time, and it's now there for good and I have to sand it down, and we all hate sanding, so I removed that just to avoid that from happening. The glitter that I used for the mix in the pattern is from glittercraze.com. If you want this particular glitter, you can go to glittercraze.com and put in glitter bar, and then select Bartender's Choice, and then just in the notes type that you want the Valentine's stripped competition glitter, and they'll know that this is the glitter that you're asking for, and they'll mix it for you right there. The other thing, the center V of the tumbler, this glitter here, I actually get from the Glitter Horse store, and that is glass ceiling. So that's what I use on the center V. I think she's out of stock right now, but she is getting more. I told her to get extra. And for the black glitter on here, I actually combine a bunch. As you can see from behind me, that's my giant glitter wall. I'm not one of these YouTube, obviously this is my first tutorial, first video ever. I do not have a sponsor. I don't have a ton of glitter like a lot of people do. That's all I've got, minus what I'm showing you here. So what I do is I mixed my black glitters to try to get the best black that I could for this. So I used Black Sapphire, again from the Glitter Horse store, Catwoman from Glitter Craze, and good old Onyx from Walmart. Mix them all together to get the black glitter. The pink is actually vinyl from the Vinyl Craze, and the patchwork vinyl is called Valentine's Patchwork, also from the Vinyl Craze. So I will also put links to all of these down below so you'll know how to get all of the items if that's what you want. Obviously you can use any vinyl, any glitter that you want on this. And just to mention, the pink striping is also the pink glitter vinyl. So with that, I'm going to go prep my tumbler. I'm going to sand it, and I'm going to spray paint it flat black from Rust-Oleum 2X. Actually, I don't know that it's flat black. I think it's Canyon black or something like that. That's what I'm going to go spray paint this with, and when we are ready for the next step, I will come back with that. Okay, so here I have uploaded the Plaid V Split template from lebcreates.com. I will have her link in the description below. All I did was I went to her website, found the Hog 20 Skinny Straight template for this pattern and purchased that, downloaded it, and then uploaded it into my Cricut. She gives you the measurements within the file, so I went in, I entered those measurements, and now all I have to do is cut it out. So here I am going to mark up my template here with the colors for my plaid. Okay, so the mix is going to be in the most areas. So I'm going to start with, we'll say this is going to be the black, which means this will be a mix, this will be a mix, this will be a mix. This is going to be pink, pink, mix. I don't know how well you can see the teeny tiny ones. There are little ones there. Thankfully, that's going to be a mix, so I don't have to worry about trying to... Oh, wait, no. Forget I just said that. Okay, so what we will do now is start... Oh, wait, there's a tiny one here. Mix. Wait, no, that can't be. Is that a mix? Yes. Mix. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is remove the black. Oh, and it took my paint with it, damn it. That means I didn't let the paint dry long enough, even though I thought I had. I save these little squares when I remove them, because if you saw my post in the LEB Creates or anywhere else I posted it, because I pretty much posted it everywhere, you'll see that I also made a notebook to go with this tumbler. And these little squares came in handy because you can't splice this pattern, unfortunately, so I had to do the notebooks by hand. So I just reused these squares on the notebook so that I knew where to put all my different colors for the plaid, and they were already labeled as well. So I will probably fast forward this so you don't have to watch me remove all of these. Bit of black paint. Actually, I'm just going to put it right on there, just a little tiny drop. Okay, all set. By the time we get to that, it will be dry. Okay. I'm going to actually use, I hate Mod Podge, but I found that this works just as well. So I'm actually going to use Aleene's. And with that, my phone decided it was done recording. Unfortunately, I didn't realize it was done recording until I had finished glittering the cup. And there is no second take on that. So I'm just going to tell you, I used Aleene's tacky glue and I applied that to all my little squares for both the black and the mixed glitter. Once I finished glittering the black sections, I removed all the M squares and glittered with the mixture from Craze and added the glitter to the cup. The only squares that are remaining now are the P for the pink glitter vinyl. I apologize for that. You know, first time making a YouTube video, can't go perfect, can it? Of course not. What fun would that be? Okay, I was able to figure out how to hide the contours for just this section down here so that when I get my pink vinyl, which is scheduled for delivery today, it's out for delivery, so when I get that vinyl, I'll be able to only cut the squares, which is all I need. I don't even need all of them, but I'll keep them. Just, you know, I'm not going to get that picky. I just didn't want all of this vinyl to get wasted. So what I did was I selected the image and selected contour. And within here, all you have to do is click on the lines that you don't want. And I don't want any of these. And you can see them graying out over here. And then when I go back, you can see that I'm only getting, oops, I need to hide those too. So let me go back. I thought I hid those. That's interesting. I can see when I click on this, the bigger one is deleting. That's not what I want. That's weird. There we go. Okay. All right, that's what I want. So now when I go to print this, or I'm sorry, when I go to cut this, when I click make it, it will just cut these plaid squares for me. So that's all you have to do. Okay, so my vinyl came and I cut it out on my Cricut just like I showed in the previous video. Obviously, this is the default setting. It cut through, but that's okay. So now what I need to do is add the vinyl to all the black painted sections of the cup. So where are my glasses? So here I am with my Valentine's patchwork vinyl, and I am preparing to cut this vinyl to fit my tumbler. Probably should have watched some YouTube tutorials before doing this. I know Jessica Flynn has a ton of them for this V Split tumbler, but why would I do that? I'm only making a tutorial, so let's just wing it and see what happens, shall we? If you want to see the real way to do this, I would highly recommend searching the real tumbler tutorial people out there on YouTube, such as Jessica Flynn, Flynn Sisters Boutique, if you're not familiar with who Jessica Flynn is. But in any case, here I am. I'm removing the vinyl from my tumbler. I'm going to save these two pieces that I remove, and I'm going to apply them to the back of this vinyl just to make sure I have the right shape that I need. And I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger than what I actually need, just to make sure I'm able to fill in this whole section where I'm removing the vinyl right now. Once again, I'm going to warn you that this is not pretty. I do not recommend following this instructional video. If you want to see the real way to do this, I highly recommend going to that search bar and typing in V Split tutorial, and you will find plenty that will show you how to do this the right way. Okay, so now that I have my piece of vinyl cut out, what I'm going to do is peel away the backing, and what you'll see me do in a little bit once I trim all this white off, usually the vinyl is cut so that you can just peel that section away, but for whatever reason this time it wasn't, so I have to take my cutter and cut off that white section of vinyl, which is no big deal, but just letting you know what I'm doing now. And once I'm done with that, I will start to peel back the backing on this vinyl, and I will cut down the center, or as close to the center as I can, which you will see is not very close, just to make it easier for me to lay this vinyl down on the cup. I like to start from the center of the vinyl when I'm doing this kind of a wrap. It just makes it easier for me, and then you can just do one side at a time rather than worrying about trying to make sure that the vinyl stays straight. If you put it on in the center, I feel like it helps keep the vinyl on there straight. So there I am removing the backing and replacing while moving it over a little bit. This gives me some adhesion to put the vinyl onto the cup, and as you can see, I got it on there rather straight, and now I'm just laying the vinyl in place where it needs to be. Now unfortunately, because I did cut the vinyl larger than the section I needed, some of it did overlap the yellow removable vinyl, so I did have to peel it back again so that I could remove the yellow vinyl. But that wasn't a big deal. It actually really kind of helped because this vinyl stretches quite a bit, and I was able to make this back V right here even more perfect than it was. So yeah, that all worked out really well. Now here I'm trying to determine whether or not I'm going to cut this vinyl off or try to lay it flat, and in the end I decided I was not going to cut it. I was going to take my heat gun and get those bumps that you can see there laying flat on the cup with the use of my heat gun, and I will be showing you how to do that if you have not seen that technique. It's really, really cool. Okay, so I'm going to show you how using a heat gun will help to help the vinyl to lay flat. Hopefully you can see this okay. You don't want to apply a lot of heat, just enough to warm it up. And then I just take my finger, and you can see, after I take my finger to that, it's kind of flattening out. Let me try to do it this way. Just enough. Hoping you can see that. You don't want to burn it. You just want to apply enough heat that it kind of melts the vinyl a little bit. At least that's what I think it's doing. Obviously, I'm not heating it up too much. Otherwise, if I were, I wouldn't be able to use my finger to push this down and lay it flat. But see that? It's like almost perfectly flat now. Awesome. No bumps. I wanted to get a better video, better shot of the vinyl after using the heat gun to show you just how well that worked to get this flat. I have the flash on and I'm getting in super duper close so you can see there are no wrinkles. That's just the seam right there. But that vinyl is super duper flat now. Just from applying a little bit of heat. A little bit of heat. Okay, epoxy time. I'm going to apply epoxy now to the tumbler before I add the center V glitter. I'm going to use 20 mLs of epoxy. So I'm just marking my medicine cup at the 10 and 20 lines because I am blind and I cannot see them. I use the Glitter Craze Quick Set epoxy mostly. I also use tumbler epoxy and I also use the Platinum Quick Set from Glitter Craze. I bought these little honey bottles on Amazon. I think there was like a set of 10 or 10 sets. I don't know. I got a lot of them, more than I needed. Made these labels so that I would know, labeled the top so when I take it off to refill them, I'd know which top goes to which. Last thing you want to do is accidentally seal them shut. And these work so much better, for me anyway, than those FIFO bottles, the first in, first out bottles. Those always leaked. These have never leaked. So I absolutely love these. I would highly recommend them. So first thing I pour in or squeeze in is the part B. And you can see the line in there, so I can easily see that I am pouring the right amount. A is always thicker. I always pour that one in second. Not sure why, I just do. I'm just waiting for it to get to the top. All right, I'm gonna pour that in up to the 20. Stop before the 20, before it hits the 20, because it's thick, so when it settles, it tends to rise. You want to make sure you're getting equal parts. So you don't want to get too much of A It looks like I could put a little bit more in there. Okay. Those aside. Oh, that's covered in glitter. Stir stick. I also got these on Amazon, just metal coffee stir sticks. I get these rags at Home Depot. They're lint free. There's 300 in a box, and when I take them out, I'll show you, I rip them in half to make them go further. Very easy to rip that way. You have to rip them the right direction. And my 91% alcohol, and after I'm done stirring this, I easily just wipe these off and it's ready to go for the next batch, or whatever I need to use my stir stick for. So I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me stir this for 3 minutes, and then we will start applying it to the cup. So I have now applied 2 coats of epoxy to this cup, and it has cured. So now I'm going to tape off my plaid and my vinyl sections so that I can apply the glitter to the center V of the cup. Just going through, adding the tape, and we'll be glittering in a minute. I'm going to use the Aleene's tacky glue again, and I believe I do 2 coats of the glitter. So I let the first coat of glitter dry. Once that dried, I added more Aleene's tacky glue, added a second layer of this glass ceiling from the Glitter Horror store, and once that dried, I then sealed it with more Aleene's tacky glue, and I let that dry overnight before I applied another coat of epoxy. And like I said, after I did this layer of glitter, I applied a second layer, but I did not record that because you do not need to watch me apply a second layer of glitter over top of this one. But once I did, I let it dry overnight, and then we move on to adding epoxy. And here I am adding a coat of epoxy. I'm using the Quick Set from Craze again. I did brush it off really well before I started to apply the epoxy, just to make sure there's no stray pieces of glitter getting into parts of the cup that I don't want. And here I am adding the vinyl striping to the cup. As you can see, I've sanded it down just to make sure there aren't any bumps where I added that chunky glitter. Unfortunately, I didn't realize I wasn't recording until I had already started applying these stripes. So you're not seeing all of it, but you will get a gist of what it is that I'm doing. So the vinyl striping I just cut with my Cricut, and the black that you're seeing me add right now is 0.25. That's the measurements. I went into the Cricut design space, selected the shapes, chose a square, and then just resized the square. You unlock it and you resize the square. So I resized it to 0.25 by like 11.49 so that I could cut a long stripe or a long strip of vinyl. And then the pink that you will see me add after this black vinyl,
I cut to 0.15. That's the size, the width of the pink vinyl. And then I use nail tape down the center of that. I'm going to fast forward so you can see all of that, but here you can see that I'm cutting the vinyl so that it makes a nice V at the top and bottom. At one point I think you saw me using a ruler. I use that metal ruler because it helps me get a good straight line, keeps me from getting wobbly. Sometimes I get a little wobbly with that craft knife, and you don't want to do that when you're trying to make a precision cut. And now it's time to add the pinstriping to the plaid section of the cup. For this I'm using Oracle 651 vinyl in black, and I just again went into Cricut Design Space, picked a square shape, unlocked it, and changed the measurement to have the width be 0.05. And that's the size that I use for the pinstriping here on the plaid section of the cup. And that's a wrap. I just need to add another coat of epoxy after this one, and this cup will be finished. I hope you enjoyed my first tutorial here on YouTube. Give me a like, maybe subscribe to my channel, and maybe I'll see you again in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.